Hey, it's Dorleen. Welcome to my channel and welcome to my creative life. I am creating something for the Jen Lee Schoolcraft website because we make pretty crafty things, and using products from that store, you can too. So I got this really cute cling rubber stamp from Stampendous, and it's called Owl Hallelujah. It's so cute. I stamped it the night before because I always want to make sure that my black ink is completely dry before I start using markers, especially alcohol markers. For some reason, it always seems to run on me. But I just grabbed two different colors of the same color family for all of my coloring. So the owl on the right, which I'm coloring now, I used a cool gray for that, and on the owl on the left, it's a warm gray, so a little bit of variety in the grays. I just grabbed some, like I said, a darker color to do some shading. I'm not someone who's like worried about light and doing all this crazy stuff. I basically just follow the stamp. Wherever there's like a little bit of edging or highlights, I just kind of follow it, and to me, that is good enough. And with the green vest, I colored the whole thing in that light green, and now I'm just doing the like checkerboard pieces in that darker. Isn't that so cute? I'm now using a glitter marker, and it's got a gold look to it to do the halos, and I also put some on the words just to cover them just a little bit, give them some shine. I'm using a white pen just to add highlights here and there, nothing crazy. And you're going to see right now, I'm going to show a close-up, a really quick one of how it looks. Look, it's super cute. It works perfectly for this card. I am making an acetate card. I've never made one of these before, and I love, love, love the look. So I'm going to take, this is a 5x7 card, so technically it's 7x10, scored at 5, and I'm cutting 4 inches off the front panel, or one of the panels. So if you want to save paper, it's basically 7x6, and then scored at the 5-inch line on the 6-inch side. God, that was so confusing. I'm going to use double-sided tape because I want to make sure this really sticks, and I'm just putting one layer, one strip over there on the top, removing the backing, and then I'm going to make sure I got the acetate just lined up perfectly to that corner, that left-hand bottom corner, lined up on that left side and also on the bottom. Very, very important on the bottom. And then I'm just going to fold it over. Perfect. Done. Now there's a little bit of a overage on that right side, but I'm okay with that because I'm going to trim it down. Now I also cut a 1.5-inch strip, same cardstock, that leftover piece, because I'm going to put that on the bottom, and that just adds a little bit more support to the acetate. Even though this is a pretty sturdy one, I'm going to fussy cut out the image, and the magic of video. Look at that. Done. So simple. I wish it was so simple. And then I'm going to decide, okay, what paper am I putting in the inside? And that's what's fun about this. So there's different layers of the acetate because the pattern paper is in the inside of the card that shows through the acetate versus on top of the card, which, I don't know, maybe it gives the same effect, but to me, it just seems a little fancier. So I'm going to cut down both of these pieces, one of the this one that I'm using here with the trees, and then one of that, what is it, like a harlequin? I don't know how to say those words. 5x7 each, just to kind of say, which one do I really want? Because they both give a different feel. This one I think is very fun, very whimsical. Is that what I'm looking for? It really kind of matches the vest and the colors. And then there's this one, which is more woodsy and more comfy Christmas. And but I had to recut it on my guillotine because I think I have to replace the blade on my bigger cutter. But I did decide to go with the trees. I just think that's just so cute. And I also decided to make that one strip from 1.5 to 1 1/4. So once I decide that, I'm going to put the adhesive there, and I'm going to put it at the bottom of the acetate. Now, same thing, I'm going to use my fingers to make sure that it's lined up perfectly, especially on the bottom, but of course on the left as well. And this one I think fits perfectly because it's the same side of the card, or size of the card. We'll go ahead and put the backing on and just kind of finish up the layer of this card. Now, one thing to remember is whatever you do in the front of this card, because it's acetate and not paper going through, you're going to see it when you open up the card. And I did not think of that when I first started putting this together. So I wish I would have done 2 layers of white or whatever colors when I was trimming down or fussy cutting the owls, because now I'm thinking, what am I going to do? And then I think, okay, hold on. I'm just going to use circles. So you'll see me in a minute pull out my circle cutter. But in the meantime, I'm just using a pair of scissors and I'm cutting what I'm saying is a snow pile. And I'm just cutting down an inch off this white paper, and then I'm going to place it where I want it. Super simple. Look at that. And again, lots of overage on the right side, but I'm okay with that. We'll trim it down. No problem. Better too much than too little, like I mentioned before. So back to the circle cutter thing. I am going to pull out my circle cutter tools, and I got those from Creative Memories. As a matter of fact, they were the first tools that I ever bought, that and that guillotine that's over there on the left, and they work fine. Never had to change a blade or anything. So hey, there you go. Kudos for good equipment or good products. So I'm taking my cutter or my circle guide, and I'm deciding, okay, which one do I like best? I decided the smaller guide with the red blade, and I'm going to cut 2 now. And the reason why I'm going to do that is because one is going to go right behind the owl so that you cover up that ink and just that kind of weirdness of the odd shape on the inside of the card. And then one of them is going to go right on this side, the base, I guess, or the inside, because that's where you're going to write the sentiment or your greeting, whatever it is. So it's going to look like this when we're all said and done. Oh, I just love this. It's so fun. So what I did is I went ahead and used some liquid adhesive to adhere the owl to the front of the card, and super simple. And you'll see that I do that even for the circles. And then I'll show you a little trick to the second circle. But before we get into all that, I just wanted to mention the Jen Lee Schoolcraft website is a place where you can buy budget-friendly, new and used materials. And these are materials for all of your paper crafting projects, whether you're a scrapbooker or a card maker or a little bit of both like I am. And everything is at good prices. Like I said, budget friendly, and there's a lot to look at, and inventory changes all the time. And so I always mention to people, if you see something you like, you better get it because it may not be there tomorrow, kind of thing. There's not a lot of multiple items like if you were going to a store that produces these, because a lot of these items, the new ones, can be like retired products, things like that from well-known companies. But you will definitely find a lot, and you'll be so shocked at the good prices. And I want to get really quick. So you see how I did that with the circle? I just lined them up and then put adhesive on one side and then folded the card down to it instead of trying to do exact measurement of where that circle was supposed to go. So I think that was a really easy way to do that. And sorry, I'm jumping all over the place, but it came up too quick and I was talking too much. That sounds exactly like how I always am. But anyhow, I appreciate you watching this. I do hope you enjoyed this. If you like this video, give me a thumbs up. Make sure you hit that subscribe button down below. I do post at least 2 videos a week. One is always scrapbooking. The other is whatever it is I'm creating in the Command Center, which is the name of my blog and also my craft room. These matte colored gold enamel dots were also from the Jen Lee Schoolcraft website. And if you notice, when I first opened it up, there was maybe like 5 or 6 missing. So something like that may be a slightly used product, but again, you're going to get it so cheap, and you're missing a couple. Who cares, right? It's a great website. I truly recommend you go check it out because you are going to find lots of things. And I have a coupon code which will be in the information box, so you can get an additional 10%. Thanks for watching. Bye.